What's going on, Titans fans? Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here with you all. Following Tennessee's overtime loss against the Chiefs on Sunday night, 20-17, I've got some takeaways from the game I want to share with all of you guys watching today, and we'll kind of round up the latest news and rumors on the Titans. But 20-17, a frustrating loss, right? Tennessee had a fourth quarter lead at Arrowhead. Would have been a huge win and a good reminder that the Titans were the number one seed in the AFC last year, and no one seems to really remember or honestly care about that in the national media. Now, speaking of kind of the national zone of this game here, A.J. Brown had no problem sharing his thoughts during this game on Twitter, which he has since deleted, kind of a cowardly move, saying, "Ain't nobody open." I don't know how to feel about A.J. Brown trolling the Titans. Like, a little bit me of his, why don't you move on? Now, I understand, hey, he wants to come and get his, victory laps in. And he wants to show the Titans that they made a huge mistake not paying him, which I don't think you're going to find anyone to disagree with, right? That was a bad trade looking back. A.J. Brown is still awesome. I don't think the Titans were betting on him sort of having a decline, but regardless, that's not the focus of today's show. But A.J. Brown has no problem coming back for receipts. All right, following the loss, the Titans still sit at the top of the AFC South, and they're still going to win the AFC South because the Indianapolis Colts just fired Frank Reich and made Jeff Saturday their interim head coach, which I'm all for. It's entertaining. Is it smart? Probably not, but it's going to be fun to watch. The Jags, congrats on beating the Raiders, another 17-plus point lead blown, and the Texans suck. So the AFC, I understand after a loss, you always feel like you got to go look at the standings and see if people are creeping up on you. No. The Titans, they're going to run away with this division. Now, I would love to see this channel run away with some more subscribers, all right? One of the newest members of our Chat Sports family, Nick Roloff, our newest producer, has been doing a great job of getting Titans content out for you guys here. So let's reward him for his great work so far by picking up 80 subs on today's show. Can we get there? Can we get 80 subscribers? Let's do it. Click that big red button and subscribe. All right, now for my Week 9 takeaways. Malik Willis is not ready at all. Kind of dicey against the Texans 2 weeks ago. It was very transparent and very clear that Malik Willis is not ready and, frankly, not trusted to go out there and throw the football more than 16 times, okay? He was 5 for 16, 80 yards, a QBR that looks a lot more like, I don't even know what 10.6 could be for a quarter. It's not good. And he was sacked 3 times. His offensive line, especially at the end, didn't do him a ton of favors. Neither did Todd Downing's play calling, honestly. They should have done some more RPOs. They should have done some easier passes, some screens and stuff like that to get him into a rhythm. Malik Willis on the ground showed why the Titans had some big interest, and a lot of teams did, in day 2 of the NFL draft. 8 carries, 40 yards. He had some good plays with his legs. He showed that maybe he doesn't have necessarily the processing down of reading an NFL defense, and frankly, he probably shouldn't be ready to go next week. It's a big, big week for the Titans with the Denver Broncos coming to town. They're off a bye, but hopefully Ryan Tannehill can return for Titans fans' sake. But let's not put all the blame on Malik Willis here, okay? A rookie quarterback who was in over his head, in my opinion. But the Titans wide receivers against Kansas City did him no favors. No receptions from Robert Woods or Chris Conley or Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I mean, just no separation. And this is what A.J. Brown was coming to gloat about. Robert Woods has been essentially a failure so far. I hate to sound so bleak about it, but let's just be somewhat objective. Robert Woods has not worked out thus far. So be honest with me. Are you disappointed in the Titans offense? Derrick Henry had some great runs. Now, towards the second half, when the Chiefs knew they were going to run it, well, that surely limited what they could do. But Derrick Henry against the Chiefs, 17 carries, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, King Henry was King Henry. He put up some phenomenal numbers against Kansas City last night, but it can't only and always be on Tractor Cito. All right, my next Week 9 takeaway is this defense is elite. Think about it. This defense went to Kansas City where they were 14-point underdogs, and no one gave them a chance. And what do? have their team in the lead in the fourth quarter against Mahomes and the Chiefs. We'll share more about this in just a second, but we have a new sponsor here at Chat Sports I'm really excited to share with you guys. Today's Titans Today is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted, and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, etc. It makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many you want to become a lord or lady, we can build our own Titans kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80%. Plus, if you use promo code CHAT, you can get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com to get your gifts now and help support this channel. That link is in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's focus our attention to what was non-existent Chiefs running game on Sunday night. The Chiefs ran for 14 yards on 13 carries. If you just remove Mahomes' scrambles at the end of the games, which I think is a good lesson of you always have to have someone spy on Mahomes, but if you don't have someone extra dropping the coverage, well, he'll pick you apart through the air. But if you don't have a linebacker sit in the middle of the field and watch 15, well, he'll scramble. But 14 yards on 13 carries from your traditional ground game, that's elite, friends. And look at this. Patrick Mahomes, yes, 446 yards against Tennessee. But that's not a typo that he threw 68 pass attempts. He threw the ball 68 times, and you limited him to 1 touchdown. That's this defense rising to the occasion, right? That's Mike Vrabel getting his guys ready for another primetime game where no one's really giving them a chance. And if you can limit Travis Kelce to 106 yards and no touchdowns, Juju to only 88 yards and Mecole Hardman to 79, I understand these aren't the numbers you look at and go, what, elite? But when you take it all into account, this defense gave this team a chance. And anytime you play Mahomes and the Chiefs, that's all you can ask for, right? This Chiefs offense racked up big numbers, but to me, it didn't feel like it when they scored 20 with 3 points coming in overtime, 17 points in regulation. Right? If I told you before this game kicked off, hey, the Chiefs are only going to score 17 points after 4 quarters, there's a decent chance you say, wow, the Titans win this game. The defense did their part. Denico Autry has been awesome this year. And it's been fun to see the Titans defensive players get some more recognition from the national media when they play in prime time. Against KC, 3 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. And then Mario Edwards, one of the newer faces in this Titans locker room, he had 2 tackles against Kansas City last night. Along with DeMarcus Walker, another Florida State Seminole, 2 tackles, a sack, 1 tackle for loss. This defense, even without Harold Landry, their best player arguably, has been rallying the last couple of weeks. And for them to keep the Chiefs to 20 points through 5 periods of play, that is impressive. Final takeaway? Nope, I got an extra one for you. Almost got myself. Number 3, the Titans can win the AFC. Now, this one might feel like a bit of a leap, but when you look at the current AFC playoff picture, they're right there. And they have a good track record of playing to the level of their competition, right? Rising up when they play the big dogs. Now, it'll be tough because they don't have the tiebreaker against the Bills or the Chiefs anymore. But after Buffalo lost to New York and after the Chiefs have stumbled against the Colts, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for this Titans team that, by the way, had a 5-game winning streak going into last night, to go on another 5-game winning streak. And once again, when no one believes in the Titans, they can rise up, tighten up, be 12-5, and win the AFC once again. The Titans can win it all. When they go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs at Arrowhead without Ryan Tannehill and stay competitive for all 4 quarters, why can't they do this with a healthy Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs? Now, unfortunately, the playoffs have been Ryan Tannehill's kryptonite, but I am a believer that this Titans team can be more than frisky. They can be competitive, right? They can be the last team you want to play in the playoffs. Under the way they play and fight for Mike Vrabel, kind of goes to show this is not a team you can ever count out. Even when they get off to a bad start this season and they disappear for the second half of games, 5-3 with all those big hurdles says a lot to this locker room. Do you think the Titans can win the AFC? I think it's possible. I'm not saying the Titans are going to win the AFC. There's a lot of football left. And the Bills and Chiefs, well, those are 2 tiebreakers you'd like to have back. Tiebreakers the Titans had last season against the Bills and Chiefs, which proved to be the difference maker. All right, 4th takeaway here. The Titans need to make a run at Odell Beckham Jr. They need to bring in another wide receiver. They need to do more than, honestly, I would say, even think about OBJ. They've got to pick up the phone and say, what do you think in the Music City? Because we will do anything to get you here, right? The Titans showed they have no production from their wide receivers. No help to Malik Willis, and even when Ryan Tannehill's out there. The fact that Austin Hooper, who was MIA for the first 5-6 weeks of the season, has started to have some nice catches at times the last couple of weeks, goes to show they're out of receivers that can gain any sort of separation or make any kind of play. Add a solid wide receiver 1 alongside Derrick Henry, and this is going to be an even better Titans team in my mind here. Jay Glazer tweeting this out, and I want to share with you guys. Big news for OBJ rehabbing, going so well. He's expected to be fully cleared in the next week. This tweet was November 6th. It is November 7th. Should be many suitors for his services. Now, the Cowboys have reportedly reached out, but the Cowboys love to say they're going to do something and then never actually do anything. So I would not say that it is a foregone conclusion where OBJ is going. But would you sign OBJ? Right? If you were Robinson, if you're in charge of this team, would you sign OBJ? OBJ for yes or no BJ for no. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, get down in the comment section and give me a tighten up so that I can see where all the real Titans fans are at the end of today's video.